scoop on my back. No.
Wave Squadron.
Yep.
Ha!
All right, Calvin, you do it.
No, you just did. We're not doing it over. You're owning that.
Wave Squadron reporting in. I'm Aaron.
I'm Calvin.
Eric.
And we're back with Andor, where last time we had a Force-sensitive healer. We saw Mon Mothma, who is being kind of, I don't know if tracked is the right word, but kept account of, while also trying to figure out how to help people the best she can.
Kept tabs on.
And we got to see the Rebellion base over in Yavin.
Yes, we did.
I was a little sad by that, I guess.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to, like, I don't know, get like, did we get like a reason or a, you know, like I like the discovery of it, or like, you know, why is it established there? But it doesn't necessarily matter. But
I figure, I don't know, if the rebels that captured Andor were doing all their bullshit and as like untrained and loud and everything as they were, then maybe Andor was like, hey, there's a good planet here that the Empire is definitely not going to find you.
Sure.
Like, as much noise as they were making, you guys are going to be good.
Sometimes the origin lore I enjoy, of like, why do they pick this? Or like, why did they end up on Hoth? The guy's remote and snowy. He's like, why is it called Echo Base? You know, like stuff like that. But we're there. And we got it. It's being built up. We saw General Draven. But Cassian left to go kill an Imperial, I believe.
Yep. He and Will were on Gore. And Will had a moment with a Gore girl. Which I thought was interesting. I wonder what's going on with that.
Yeah, over on Gorman.
Yeah.
Mutual attraction.
Yeah.
I don't know. He seems to always be causing problems with things. I'm assuming this will not go well either.
Yeah.
I don't have much trust in Will.
Is he a partisan, you think? Or is he more just a general rebel?
He breathed in that Rhydonium, man.
Yeah, it changes you.
Yeah. So he might be here working more so on Saul stuff than he is here working on Luthen stuff, you know? But yeah, on Gorman things are getting worse. Syril looked like he might have been trying to like de-escalate things.
He was definitely seeming to get upset with Dedra'a.
I don't think he is ready to understand what the Empire actually is like.
I think he has specifically why Partagaz was like, you're keeping him out of the loop. He cannot know of any of this.
He has a great ideal of what the Empire is, and it's almost like they're protecting him from it.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's see what is or isn't protected this time.
Quite a big armory.
The city is much different. I was like, wait, where is this? And I'm like, oh, it's Garmin.
Yep. That's the...
It doesn't need up on this hill. Nope. Huh.
Come on, soldier, look lively! Keep it moving,
Moving the security barricades.
Come on, you look lively!
What are they preparing for?
The mining equipment. Already on site. Is that a story Director Krennic wants to be telling?
We're done with local rumors. The only story that matters is Gorman aggression.
Which this will...
Inexplicable resistance to Imperial norms.
We need what's in the ground.
Provoke it.
The Empire has been patient long enough.
This was always
Our
the plan.
struggles with Gorman are well documented at this point.
And now any resistance we can tell whatever story we want about what they're doing. And here they are getting ready for battle immediately, you know?
Well,
they stole it from the shipment.
Imperial shipments, yeah.
And Molotov-y things.
There were mass curfew violations last night and rumors of a general strike this morning.
And they're preparing for that general strike, but you drop mining equipment to escalate them so that you can then thwart the strike and blame them.
Yep.
Comms are down. We're making rounds. Imperial employees are to report immediately to the ILC building.
They're bringing everybody inside the fortress.
Which is right next to the military base.
And no communication so that the rebellion doesn't know what's happening. It's all word of mouth.
Tim Mouklo Kumbi en beau.
Sua Mikrenbi et Bordeaux.
Simor fik nas res d'arbor.
Nas kumver stan so reftinex.
So ref? Nashbi soreft, vla nashbi gastam. Go! You dare walk our streets! You dare walk among us! People know what you're doing. We've had reports all night. There's mining equipment being dropped all over the planet. Rigs and droids.
It's a rumor.
Are you mad? What's in our ground? Huh? What is it you've been sent to steal from us?
Hey, I hope things work out for you. Rebellions are built on hope.
Man.
Damn.
God, they were so close.
Fuck, if he had turned, like he studied his face for so long, he would
Yeah.
instantly recognize him.
They're just
Yeah, they're just letting them all filter in, and they're all around the barrier, around the outside. There she is.
I hope he doesn't start this. You know what I mean? Like fire one shot and
Then everybody else starts shooting. Could very well be.
Over here. Just be a minute until things calm down.
Okay.
It's KX droids.
how many droids are in here? And what are those droids made for?
Kicking my ass. It's Calcassus.
Yep.
There's 6 of them. They're Imperial. Enforcer droids, I think it's called.
What's wrong with that one? Why are they just staring at you? That one didn't look away.
That one is creepy.
Close all the exits.
Is that a
Yes, sir.
flamethrower?
Why
Channel 5
are
is
we
open.
closing all
Standing
the
by, sir.
exits?
Packing them in.
Patrol, sir. Within the crowd.
Was that not my order?
They're green, sir. They're useless.
I see Imperial uniforms, Sergeant. I see a barricade lane to the memorial that I...
Keep
Prodding.
Close the exits so they can't get out. Now start marching them through the middle.
Did they bury a cache? Or are they just getting rocks?
Yeah, I don't know. Things to throw for the randoms. The people who aren't part of the actual...
Yeah.
Man.
There's so many people here.
I know.
Wait! Hang on, I said wait!
What have you done?
How long?
We can discuss this later.
It's too late already.
Please,
You're gonna tell me what this has really been about?
you're hurting me.
And you are going to tell me what the mining ships are doing here.
They're not.
There is an armada up there.
There's a stone. Something in the dirt here. They need it. It's the energy program. It's directly from the Emperor. It's something they can't do without. They need the planet.
You went straight Vader there.
Good luck, Dedra'a.
Oh, man. I love seeing Imperials being like, this is not what I thought I was doing this for, you know?
Yeah.
Like I feel the same way about the leader of the squad, him. I feel like he's like, why are we doing this? And he's following orders, you know? You jump the barrier the other way?
Orders, please.
Proceed.
Put them on. 1 transmit 5, 1 calling 5.
5 online, standing by.
Withdraw! Withdraw! Withdraw!
Shoots one of his own.
Open fire!
He's gonna be in the crowd.
Damn, man. I hate the smirk.
There's your chance.
Yeah, beyond the glass.
And it doesn't matter if you take the shot now.
Put them out there.
Ah, the droids.
The enforcer droids.
Oh, God.
Took a forklift and 2 guys to do that. Damn it.
I was good at the smoke. Made it dark enough where you can see her reflection. She is in that explosion. You know? Damn.
Yep.
Oh my
Saw
God.
him.
It's a spider ball. Here's a spider.
Popcorn. Damn! Oh, that hurt.
Man, I didn't know Syril had this fight in him.
Kind of a broken man.
Yeah, he's fighting all his feelings right now.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Ah!
Full shot.
He's unconscious if he's not dead.
Yeah, he might be dead now. Oh, damn. He didn't get his gun either, did he?
No, I couldn't.
Uh-oh. Not dead. Uh-oh.
Who are you?
Oh, man.
Shit, man, he was putting it down.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm not leaving without Gina. No. I've got to find her.
Wilmot, stop. We have to leave.
It's not far.
Hey, everything is fine. We need a ride to the ship. Look at me.
Oh, the droids.
KX droids.
Cushion!
Nice. You made up for it a little.
Cut it in half. Take it with you?
Please. I can't leave her behind.
Tell people what happened here, Cass. Ferrix. Stolen Sky.
Wait! One last favor.
Help me put this in this vehicle. Ride it back to the ship.
You can analyze it.
Thousands more on the streets, more every minute. We're being destroyed. This is Gorman reaching for any open channel that can hear me. If you can hear me. If you believe in truth, if you have any faith left in truth, please mark this message and pass it forward.
Message.
The conspiracy we feared is real. It's here today. Imperial ships are already landing across
Questions are being asked about how an insurrection of this scale could be mounted without the aid and support of outside rebel assistance. In the days to come, as the Imperial martyrs of Gorman are mourned, we're sure to learn a great deal more about what happened here today and the price we'll pay for our own safety.
Oh, lady, don't sing in gore. Man, I've just existed in a state of dread for so long. I don't think I've ever done that with Star Wars.
Just waiting for something to happen.
Have you ever had that experience? Just dread for 40 minutes?
Most Star Wars, there's a hope. You know, there's a side of things like
this is before the hope.
This
Before,
is
the
you know
dark
the
times.
full rebellion's not here yet. The stories that we know about Gorman. You know, if you watch Rebels and you saw like something terrible happens that makes Mon Mothma leave and it revolves around Gorman, like you're waiting for something terrible to happen. And this is the second terrible thing to happen to Gorman after the Tarkin event, you know?
Yeah. In the source books, they talked about the Gorman Massacre and the second Gorman Massacre. This is the second.
And like, Syril knew things. He wasn't going to shoot Cassian. He was putting his gun down. I'm like, man, if he could have joined in, like, he was an Imperial who like found out what was going on. Could have been one of the voices of bringing the message. Could have told Cassian exactly, because they still don't know why, you know? So like the one leader guy, I can't think of his name, but was like, they're dropping mines. They want something.
Yeah, they're dropping mining equipment.
What do they want? You know,
what's under the ground that they want? Why are we like?
And and you have her at the end being like, we don't even know what it's for. We don't know why. But just the setup of the trap, the preparations they had. You know, they had those droids there. They've been slowly building towards this for a year.
Yeah.
Just so that they could cause an uprising, an insurrection. Now the Empire takes over. You know, they already had a curfew, but you can create a more strict martial law type of thing and mine what you can, because now you've taken out all the people who were growing to try to fight back, you know? And you don't dare fight back again now because you know what happened last time.
Yeah.
And Cassie got to witness all of it. And he even called out, it's a trap, you know? That one guy is like, it's a trap. Like, people could see it was a trap. And some of those people just came in there just wanting to protest, being like, this isn't right, this isn't fair, and the other ones came in wanting to fight, and that Imperial shot his own man first. Those young kids that were out in the middle, because they were sacrifices to be able to get things started.
Yep.
There was something about as the Gorman started to assemble and they started to chant and they started to sing, like more and more people were filling the shots until like it was people on a set, and then it was like
a crowd.
It just the set was people.
Yeah.
And then it just fired into it. It was just so well done. It's just really depressing. I'm thinking about how deep I should be looking into Syril's hesitation of putting his blaster down, because I do agree that there's an element there where he sees Cassian and he sees red, right? Because he has all of these complex, contradictory feelings happening, and then he sees something that he can focus on, and he goes red, he goes nuts. That's a pretty visceral fight. I don't think I can point at a more like visceral
you say
fight in Star Wars.
I didn't know Syril had this in him, but that's because it's all built up from what he did in season 1.
Yeah.
And then it's also built up with what he's feeling presently.
Yeah.
And then you build up to the point where it's like he's going to kill him, and Cassian says, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And in that moment there, too, I think Syril has to think, who am I? The idea of being an Imperial, I don't know if he agrees with anymore with everything that's happened, with what he's been lied to, what he was led to believe by the Empire, and what the truth was, which was there was no outside agitators. The outside agitators were the Imperials coming in and creating this mess to begin with.
Yeah.
And
I was the outside agitator that I was gathering evidence on.
Yeah. And in that moment of his hesitation, trying to think maybe even about who am I, he doesn't even get to really think about it too much before he's killed, which I also don't necessarily blame that other guy in that mess of everything with this Imperial that he can't trust. And, he was just talking to him before, and he's like, no, there's a rumors, it's not true. And he's like, of course,
his last conversation,
you're another one of them.
Yeah, he was still regurgitating the propaganda,
And then he sees someone he knows was like on the rebellion side of things and was there originally to help before, and was kind of like, no, you guys shouldn't be doing this. And he helps and saves him,
Yeah.
But no, I think there's a lot there to read into with Syril and what.
Yeah, I wonder if there's also a hint of like being irrelevant, right? Like his mother is constantly, like all their scenes about him like not being ambitious enough and not doing this and being in the right spots, but when Cassian, who has been his not sole focus, but he was obsessed with him, like looked at him and like didn't even recognize him, like. It shatters your ego a little bit, too. Obviously, I think that the other stuff is probably more prevalent in terms of the intention of both the actor and the writing. But I think there's also an element of, these people are irrelevant to the Empire. And then he felt a feeling of irrelevancy as well. And then, like you said, had no time to truly comprehend it before he is shot.
Yeah.
What an episode of Star Wars.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And the idea, protests I think can be really good, but I think there's always that fear of knowing what exactly everyone on both sides are thinking and doing, I really feel like there's a group of protesters there who are I don't agree with what's going on, I want to protest. But there's also the other group that brought weapons and things where it wasn't a peaceful protest. I wonder what the side of things would be if there were no weapons there, how do you justify what the Empire does in this scenario when they're not fighting back, and it's they had weapons, but not nearly the same, They didn't have those droids, they didn't have, all the soldiers, TIE fighters, whatever. There's just that other element there that I wish they could have listened to the one guy who was trying to lead them and being what was the thing he said about being silent? We'll be silent when we're dead.
Yeah. And look, I don't want to get too real with this, but Star Wars is always telling a story that the storyteller wants to reflect back to the viewer. Lucas is talking about the Vietnam War, and for the original trilogy, Lucas is talking about our, the stuff in the Middle East and the prequels, and here, be careful what people tell you should hate. Or what you should find irrelevant. Or who you think, those people, who cares about those people? Yeah. There's a lot of death in the world.
Be careful trusting a system that's telling you to hate someone for their reasons.
Yeah.
You know?
People you've never met, you've never talked to, you've never shared with, you've never made an attempt to understand.
I think it's the be careful people telling you not to question.
Yeah.
You know, like Syril is one where he's like he's just following orders. The Balroy guy, whatever his name was, like just following orders. Like there's so much of that where it's like just following orders is what I was told. This is what I'm supposed to do. What I'm supposed to believe. Like you can also question things.
Yeah.
You know. Same thing on the other side. Like the rebellion side of the protesters did not question why they opened it all up. It was let's go in there into the protest. Now's our chance. Even though the other guy was like, it is a trap. Like, they weren't willing, like, no, it's time to fight back now. Like, there's that questioning aspect. And it's like, you can always know and learn more.
Yeah.
Syril thought he knew what was going on, you know? And he did not.
Yeah, he had a glass-shattering moment when he realized, oh, this isn't just a mistake. This isn't just, you know, a tiny little spy intrigue that I was playing at. Like, this came directly from the Emperor. This is the entire point of this.
For a year. And they are going to do it regardless.
Regardless of the outcome.
We will be heroes.
Yeah. It's all so scripted and planned.
And like one of the saddest parts for him is like that was from the person that I have to assume he loved, you know? Yeah. The person he cared about and like probably trusted the most. Yeah. And she had been lying to him and they had been using him and he had no idea what was going on, you know? And that's one of the worst things about it.
Yeah. Like not only is his beloved empire betraying him, but his beloved is betraying him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved her scene when she was aggressively straightening her tunic.
Just struggling to regain composure.
What did Paragast say to her? Like, professional ascension or something like that. I can't remember what he said. But, man, I have so many complicated feelings because I have all this, like, dread and sadness in me. But I also have to make room for just appreciation for how well done this was. Like, just hundreds of professional artists put this together. Like, the acting. Like Dedra'a and Sybil, like the top notch, the costuming, the staging, the casting directors for extras, like everything felt authentic and real and in the moment, and the dread build, the music and the sound, and you know, like there's no weakness in there. There's no like, well, you know, that part I didn't love. Like it was all done so well. The direction, the writing. It's not easy to have hundreds of extras on a set.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
No, I get what you mean.
Yeah. It's this show continues to show you a side of Star Wars that like you knew was there, but you never got to really see it or feel it in that way.
Sure, yeah.
Like, obviously, this stuff happened, you know?
When we usually see, I mean, you look at the original trilogy, and when we see fights and stuff happen, the one you see that, like, the rebellion loses is Echo Base, you know? But it's not like this. It's all a military, like, you know, installation. And, like, the attack on that, you're like, well, yeah, they're a rebel military base. The Imperial military found them, and they're going to have a war and stuff, you know? But this isn't that. This is civilians. Majority are just civilians, and even the ones that are fighting are still just civilians. And they're orchestrated into a trap and just slaughtered. Like
by the end of it doesn't matter what they are.
Yeah, they were herding in cattle. They had them in. You know, here's the route that you can go. Let's close them all in, trap them in here where they can't escape.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even to trap in the people who were wanting to fight. It was to trap in anybody. They wouldn't let anyone out, you know?
Yeah. And every Imperial there can pass the buck off of responsibility to the person up above them, and above them, and above them, and then you pass the buck to people that aren't there.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, Dedra'a has to follow the orders given by Partagaz, who is...
Sure.
You know, he's on Coruscant. You know, why would he be here?
Yeah.
But then, like, they set you up with, well, who was taken out first? Who fired the first shot?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, the first death was that Imperial trooper.
Yeah.
You know? But they don't know who took the first shot. That's commander guy for that squad.
Yeah.
Shot the guy
Like
up there.
They purposely brought
retaliation.
a dummy.
Yeah.
You know? In
So,
front
like,
of a green squad to do that stuff.
Yeah.
To sacrifice.
Yeah, and his order to just open fire in the middle of the crowd
was out of fear.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, it's purely retaliatory and fear-based. Like,
Yeah.
there's no good reason to do that. You don't have any kind of positive ID on
anyone,
a hostile or anything like that. Like, it could have been one of those rocks that they were throwing. You're gonna shoot people that are throwing rocks?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you have the soldier down. He was afraid of what's happening, and you begin firing. And it came from above. Who's above you? That guy's above me.
Mm-hmm.
Must have been him.
Even though both of his hands are full.
Because he's holding on and waving a flag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how is he gonna stabilize and make that kind of shot in a crowd?
Like, it wasn't even like they set up to trap them so that when they started, they could, you know? It was for that once we have them all ready, we can start when we want.
Yeah.
What was the digging of the rocks for? Was that just to throw rocks?
I guess so.
So I didn't see them do anything else. It was
Yeah, I
like
think
no
it's-
hole or cash they were pulling out or
I
anything.
think the guy was doing it was the first guy that threw the rock. I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they were just making smaller rocks out of big ones. All right. I can't believe we have another episode to watch today.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, we've had a lot of Cassian with this one. We saw all of Gorman this time. I wonder if we get to see the galaxy's response, what Mon Mothma and the
I
Senate
figure
say.
we're going to see a lot of Coruscant next episode.
The galaxy is watching.
Yeah.
Mon Mothma, Saul Guerrero.
What does Bail Organa say, you know? Like, this might be a good time where, like, you brought in Bail before. You don't want to distract people from Bail Organa when he's talking about what happened on Gorman or something, you know? What does the senator of Gorman have to say?
I love that kid is the inception of rebellions are built on hope. That was good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Cassian says it to Jin. Jin says it back to the Rebel Council.
Yeah.
All right, we got another episode. Stay tuned. Guys, if you want to watch maybe some more lighthearted Star Wars content, we're playing Knights of the Republic over, actually right here at Wave Squadron. Currently, we're trying to save the Wookiees from slavery and a puppet government, and
stop the war with the Sand People and the Zerka Corporation.
There's a lot of suffering going on. I guess it's not very fantastic.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Subscribe.